Hello everyone, we have seen a lot of change in the AWS certification space. We've seen some certifications being retired and we've seen a new one being released very recently. So there's change afoot. The AWS certification team are adapting to the way that technology is evolving, and we need to keep abreast of that. So in this video, I'm going to help you to answer the question of which certification should you get. So help you to focus your energies in the right place. What are the most in-demand certifications today? What are the job roles and salaries associated with them? And what do you need to know about each certification and whether it's something you should tackle? I'll also be sharing some insights into ways that you can differentiate yourself in the market and really stand out from the crowd with excellent project skills, excellent hands-on skills, and the right portfolio that's going to help you land a job, and how we can help you with our Cloud Mastery Bootcamp program. So stay to the end if you want to hear more about that. So let's have a look at the different AWS certifications. Firstly, we have the foundational level. Here we have one certification, the AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner. This is the foundational certification. So in other words, it's kind of like the beginner or entry point into the cloud. But don't be fooled, it does have a wide range of services covered within the scope, and you need to know quite a lot about a variety of different things, including the benefits of the cloud, the different service models in the cloud, and also some security and billing concepts as well. Next up, we have the associate level. Things get a bit harder here. Here we're talking about intermediate level. At the associate level, we've had these three certifications for many years, and now we also have the data engineer associate. Now, as you can see, they are aligned with certain job roles, but don't worry about the job names too much. Okay, these are useful certifications to gain even if you're not going for that specific job role. For example, the Solutions Architect Associate probably has the broadest range of AWS services covered within its scope. So it's a good certification to have regardless of which job role you're going into if you want to have some technical skills on AWS. Of course, if you're a developer, you'll want to go for the Developer Associate, but you might want to do that in addition to the Solutions Architect, which I would do first. Then you got the SysOps Administrator, much more about those sort of systems operations roles. Data Engineer Associate is a lot newer, and it is quite difficult. It certainly aligns very strongly with that data engineer role, as it should do. So you've got to know quite a bit about things like database management. Then we've got the professional level sitting at the top here. These are quite a big step up in difficulty in terms of the exams. The Solutions Architect Pro, in my opinion, is the hardest of the two. I found the DevOps Engineer quite a bit easier, and I'm not even a DevOps expert myself. I'm more of a solutions architect, so I still found the SO Pro harder. I think most people do agree on that. So this is where you really do have a strong skill set and some good experience in the cloud. Quite difficult to get these if you don't have experience. Then we have 3 specialty certifications. There used to be more, but they've been retired. By the time you watch this video, I would not be surprised if they've released something new. Maybe AI is coming. I don't know. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. But at the moment, we have the advanced networking specialty, the security specialty, and the machine learning specialty. Again, these are more specialized, so if you're a networking engineer moving into the cloud, you'll want to go for the networking specialty. If you're more aligned with security in your job role, obviously then the security specialty is for you. So let's go into these in a bit more detail and try and help you understand which certification to get. So the Cloud Practitioner, again, it's foundational level, great for beginners, suitable for those in non-hands-on roles as well. So you might be a project manager, you might work in sales, you might manage a team of hands-on experts, SMEs in different disciplines, but you're not technical yourself. So this is a good certification to help you understand the cloud. Doesn't require a lot of practical expertise, it's more knowledge-based. So the exam is just about testing that you understand the cloud, not that you can actually practically deploy in the cloud, even though it's called a practitioner. So there we go, that's just a reality. Good place to start for most people, I would say. And if you do come from a technical background and you understand the cloud very well, then it will be easy, so why not go for it? There are some concepts that aren't covered in the other certifications as well, like billing and some of the benefits of the cloud, those types of things covered at the practitioner level, but not necessarily the other levels where it's more of assumed knowledge. One other tip, if it does seem like an easy certification for you to attain because you have experience, do it anyway, because if it's your first AWS cert, once you pass the exam, you get that 50% off voucher for your next exams. So it's kind of worth doing just for that benefit. Next up, we got the associate certifications. We got the 4 certifications. Intermediate level, quite a bit harder in terms of the exam compared to the Cloud Practitioner. Here it's for those with existing tech and cloud skills. Recommend to start with a solutions architect, almost regardless of what job role you're doing, because it covers a broad scope of services. So it's a good starting point. And then I would say go for the extra ones as well. There are lots of overlap. Okay, data engineer is a little different. There's still some overlap, but it does have quite a strong focus on specific database skills and data engineering skills that you might only sort of pick up if you're working in those job roles. Whereas the other three, I think if you do one of them, like the SO Pro first, then the other two come fairly easily because the gap between them is relatively small. So it's a small amount of extra study to get to those extra two certs. DEA, a bit more like a specialty in my experience, so it's a little bit harder than the others. I found it to be quite a bit more difficult when I did it. Then we have the professional level. So here, this is suitable for individuals with significant hands-on experience or industry experience. Recommended to do the associates first. I would say do the solutions architect, developer, and the SysOps before you do the SA Pro. If you're going to do these both these professional certifications, do the DevOps first as well, because the SA Pro is harder. So you're trying to build more and more experience and more knowledge, and then go for the hardest one last. Not so sure about the DEA, as I mentioned. It kind of sits on the side a little bit in my experience, so it's not necessarily a prerequisite to getting any of these. Difficult exams, they certainly test your knowledge and experience. Longer scenarios, much more complex, longer answers. You do a lot of reading with some of the questions. They can certainly test your knowledge. And really, if there are any gaps in your knowledge, you'll know about it. DevOps Pro, again, slightly easier. So then we got the three specialties at the time of recording this video. More specialists, so if you're doing those particular roles and if you're seeking to specialize in a particular field. I recommend doing at least one associate first. So just because you come from a background with strong networking experience doesn't mean you can go and do the advanced networking straight off, because you won't understand that AWS technology. So you've got to go and do something else first. So even if you come from a strong background of networking, go and do the Solutions Architect Associate, then do the advanced networking. Same for the other two as well. Get a broader understanding of AWS, then go for the specialties, even if you have domain-specific knowledge. Difficulty can vary quite widely. Advanced networking, for example, quite a bit harder than security. Now, what about the various different job roles you can get with these certifications? Well, of course, there's a variety of job roles. Again, I want to bring this to your attention because it's not necessarily aligned with the certification name. Now, at the bottom here, we have the two most important, I would say, associate certifications, the Solutions Architect and the Developer. And you can see the different job roles that are available there. And then on top, we've got the pro level where, of course, we're talking about more experienced people. And the salaries will obviously correspond to that level of experience as well. And they can vary quite widely, but these are some ranges that I've found when doing some research on the internet. And certainly with our students, we've found that these are definitely achievable job salaries for people with the requisite experience and certifications. Now, experience, of course, is one of the key things here. Certifications alone are not going to get you jobs today. Everyone's got them, you've got to get them as well, but you also need to have some experience, something you can demonstrate to employers. So how do you do that? Well, there's a variety of ways. You can use training courses that include a lot of hands-on exercises. Certainly our training courses do that. You can find example projects online, such as through Medium or the AWS website. Use challenges that are pre-configured for you in sandboxes like the challenge labs that we provide from Skillable. They actually test your knowledge practically, so you're actually putting your practical experience into play and actually trying to solve a challenge in a real-world scenario. And you could attend a live training bootcamp where you get the opportunity to work with industry experts, build real-world applications, and then find a way to showcase those to employers, help you land those interviews and hopefully those jobs. So we do that with our bootcamp program. Just want to talk about that a little bit. We help you to earn multiple certifications. These are the 3 certifications we focus on, from the foundational through to that intermediate associate level at the Solutions Architect Associate and Developer Associate. But other skills are important today. You've got to get some other skills. You cannot just learn AWS. Very few, if any, job roles will be advertised with just AWS skills. You'll almost always need to know Linux, a bit of programming, even if you're not a developer, maybe Python, maybe a bit of Node.js, for example. Then there's Kubernetes. Kubernetes is used in many organizations today for container orchestration and management, both on premises and in the different clouds. And then Terraform. Most companies are using Terraform to deploy infrastructure as code. They don't use tools like CloudFormation quite as much because it's limited very much in the scope of what it can do. So we help students earn 5 certifications, including those free AWS certs, Kubernetes Administrator Certification, and the Terraform Certified Associate. And then we help them build a personal brand, a portfolio of project work, capstone projects, skills assessments, challenges that they've actually been through and actually documented or are offering directly online for employers to actually look at. That is a really important thing to make you stand out in the industry today. So in the bootcamp, you gain real-world practical experience through a variety of different scenarios, including instructor-led live training labs, so in live sessions with experts actually teaching you how to use the technology with some fairly complex scenarios. Skills assessments, so these are different to the challenges I talked about before. These are only for our bootcamp students. This is where we set up some quite complex challenges for you to solve, and they vary in difficulty as you progress through the program. And then capstone projects. We have several of these for each of the different training modules across AWS, across Python. We have Terraform and Kubernetes as well. So you learn these different skill sets, AWS, Linux, Python, Terraform, and Kubernetes. Really important skills for so many job roles today, as part of a cohort of learners with expert support all along the way. And perhaps most critically, you develop this portfolio of experience which you can then showcase to employers. That is really key today, I think, being able to have something that you can showcase to get your foot in the door. And we'll teach you how to showcase your work, how to approach employers, how to make sure that you can negotiate the right salaries, all of those different things. We have a professional career coach who will actually walk you through all of that. And of course, you're going to learn from industry experts with many years of experience. Most of our instructors have more than 10 years, many of them more than 20 years experience in the industry. So you're not learning from beginners who just learned a year or two ago themselves. You're learning from people who have senior roles in the industry and have been doing this for a very long time. If this is something that interests you, there's a link in the description of this video where you can learn more. Okay, that's all from me today. I hope this video was useful and educational, and I wish you all the best in your certification journey.